most people here. Thank you, Anna. So first of all, anyone not on mute or push to talk, please do that so we don't have too many interruptions along the way. We have quite a bit of an agenda today. I've been traveling the past few weeks, so we haven't really had the chance to do a town hall covering the last couple of rounds of TWs. So we will be doing that today, going back to the ones we had the round before the one we just had also. So the agenda for today is going to be a TW recap for those rounds. We're going to go over some instructions for modding, counters, practice, etc. We're going to do a little update on the guild status, including recruiting, how we're going to manage TWs going forward, including shuffling, etc., and setting some expectations for everyone as we progress here. Finally, we're going to do a little Q&A where everyone who wants to ask some questions or do some comments will get the chance to grab the mic and ask anything you want. So before we get to that, just want to throw out a quick thanks to Boomer, Samseed, Tyrant, aka Eric, David, and John for taking the time to meet up with me during my trip to LA. It was a pleasure, guys. Special thanks to Tyrant and Samseed for driving me around. And a quick recommendation for everyone, if you ever get the opportunity, I definitely recommend you guys meet up with these guys. They're great guys. And a little hint for the ladies in the guild. If you're into kind of Ricky Martin style Latino lover, you should definitely hit Boomer up. He will fit the bill for you. If you're more into a vanilla kind of handsome, you should hit Samseed up. And if you kind of prefer the rugged bad boy looks, Tyrant will be your guy. So with that out of the way, just a big thanks, guys. It was a pleasure. Going into the TW recap, it's been a great couple of weeks for MW. The highlight, of course, being back-to-back wins versus TI Blue for MW1 and MW2, and in the process, effectively dethroning them as the apex predators of this game, putting us at the top where we want to be. The main reason why we did the merger a few months back, we put a lot of effort into that. And I think we can say that all those efforts are finally paying off. As I said a few weeks back in a town hall, it started off a little rocky. I think I said something like, well, the sex wasn't even great first. At first, we kind of needed to get to know each other in order to build a relationship here with all the former Wallet Warriors and Mighty Chlorians together in one guild. I think we can safely say at this point that the sex has gotten pretty good. We probably still need to work a little on the cuddling. But I think we have made some great progress as a guild. And we really want to keep working on that. So obviously that's going to take some effort from everyone. And I think the key issues we have at this point from a guild perspective are the minor details like tickets and such. But I'm sure we will be able to address that on an ongoing basis. So I'm not going to waste any time on that right now. But just want to say that I think we've made some really great strides and made some really good progress on reaching the goals we set out to reach when we merged a few months back. So what we're going to be looking into with the TWs is obviously going to be the TWs we just had this week, both the bonus one midweek and the vanilla one we had for the weekend. Just want to address really quickly that, especially for MW2, I realized you had a quite devastating loss this weekend by a fairly small margin to the Wolfpack guys. And I just want to say that was really unfortunate. I think we really could have pulled off a win there. As you know, we've been doing some joint management for TWs for the past couple of rounds, and I think that's been working really well. The MW1 guys probably put a little bit more effort into MW1 this TW and weren't able to help out as much as they would have liked. We would have liked in MW2 because, obviously all focus was on getting the win versus TI Blue. Matching what you guys did just a week ago, we obviously wanted to match that. So I just want to do a quick apology for probably not being able, on behalf of the whole TW team, to show you guys the attention that we should have, and we will fix that going forward. That said, I still want to say that despite the loss you had today, you still look pretty good overall. Before this one, you had back-to-back wins versus Star Force Jeddah, TI Blue, Japan Alliance, Alliance Legacy, Hot Cartel. So I think you're doing really well, and one loss shouldn't really change the perspective on the success you guys been having. We're going to be addressing the details of it, how we're going to approach it going forward a little bit later. But I just want to say that one loss doesn't make the huge difference. I think we're onto some good things, and we'll keep working on those with the help of each and every one of you. So I have a special request today that I'd like to ask all of you. Because obviously this town hall is going to be a bit of a celebration that we were able to get wins versus TI Blue back-to-back, both guilds. And obviously this wouldn't be possible without the effort of each and everyone in both guilds. But also I want to do a really big shout out to the combined TW team for both guilds for the great theory crafting, management, dedicated effort, and sleepless nights they put into making it happen. Obviously, a very special mention to both Cab and Aggie, who've been crucial in achieving this for us. So what I'd like you all to do, and this is going to be a one-time thing only, it's never going to happen again during a town hall. What I'd like you to do when I ask you all to make some noise, I'd like you all to unmute or press your push to talk button, put your hands together, applaud, scream, do whatever you want to help me do a shout out to not only yourselves, but also the TW team, Cab and Aggie in particular. I hope everyone are up for this. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
Let's make some noise!
Hey!
I like turtles.
Who's touching me?
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. So, from here, I'm going to hand over the mic first to the MW team to cover the TWs we just had this week. So, Cab, you here?
I am indeed here, taken aback.
So, Cab, your thoughts on the TWs we just had? We'd love to hear it.
Well, I think a lot of it was everyone kind of coming together. The last few weeks, we've been putting out last-second gearing and modding suggestions, and I know it's a pain in the ass and takes hours, but everyone really, probably like a 90% clip, has remodded for every war, and I think it really paid off. You could see last night, for instance, everyone changed their nests within a few hours, and you could see all the holds, just as a small example. But really, everyone's been putting in that time 3 hours a week probably to remod for specific maps, which really helps our plans. We can put teams in a zone, but if they have shit mods, it's not going to do anything. So thank you to everyone for that. Bravo, obviously, it's been the end game. Pretty pleased that we got them in a bonus and in a vanilla. No excuses for them, except as Bosock says, the day ended in a Y. So we'll have to beat them in a war where that is not the case. I don't know. It's been a really great run the past few weeks. The Bosconda loss for MW2 was a bit unfortunate, and I kind of feel pretty bad for that. I was busy. I had a friend in town yesterday and Bravo. I just did not have any time to pay attention to my buds in 2. But other than that, they've been rolling. A legacy revenge win was huge. Obviously, Bravo. So I don't know. It's been great. These runs, as Q Rock always told me, they have to end at some point. But let's just enjoy the ride while we're winning, and especially when we're taking 2 wins a match. It's hard to do.
All right, thanks, Cap. Do you have any comments on any specific teams that were performing great for us, either offense, defense?
So obviously the Sith Marauder wrinkle really throws a wrench in everyone's counters. So if everyone wants to keep working on Gear 12 Plus there and 6E crit damage mods, I think that'll make a difference. The Padme team seems really strong. It's definitely beatable, but you need very specific, mostly Sith, to beat it. So it gives you some flexibility in planning. You can set some traps, burn counters, which was our entire strategy against Bravo and why they had such indecision early on. They knew they couldn't burn all their Sith, and it led them to going really weak versus Nest and Night Sisters. And they had pretty much lost the efficiency war after the first couple zones. So those are some key tunes to work on. I think for ships, we are going to work really hard over this TB week to perfect a ship counter, ideally one that doesn't use Sunfac in the starting lineup so that we can send in full Geos as cleanup. Once the cooldowns are a little offset after your first battle, full Geos are really successful in taking them out for 16, 17. So I think we'll be a lot more successful in full clearing if we tweak the initial comp a bit. Easier said than done, because without those double tanks, you very often lose crew. Along those lines, if everyone can get 6E mods on those ship starters, crew, Bosk, and Sunfac, that will increase your survivability. And when Cassian comes in and calls crew to assist, Male, I think this happened to you, right? Like, you often get them to 1 sliver of red health. So if you think about that extra Gear 12 Plus or 6E mods, that can make all the difference in knocking MILF out of the fight. So I think that'll be the focus over this territory battle week.
Good info, and you're absolutely right. That did happen to me with that counter. Practiced it like 10 times in arena and then went in and it failed. Only managed to get the MILF down to 1 sliver of red, and then it obviously healed right back up, and from there it was a loss. So I don't have 6E on those pilots, so that's my mistake. I will be working on that the coming week, and I really recommend everyone doing that as well, as it will make it a lot safer as a counter, because it just adds a little bit more oomph and potency to it. So definitely a recommendation from me.
Yep. And just along those lines too, MW1 has Legacy coming up, and we owe them a real big beatdown. I know MW2 got them, but a few of us leftovers from MC1 owe them a lot of revenge for the past couple months. So it's a bonus TW. Crew is pretty key for us there. So if you want to put your 6E mods on crew, it kind of has the double benefit too, and get that speed up on Kylo.
Okay, thanks, Cap. I was just scouting for Gugek and Oblivion. I see Oblivion here. Oblivion, you were in. You were covering for Moby in MW2 this past TW, correct?
Well, I have an account or two that I play in MW2, so I've basically been in every territory war, every MW territory war since the beginning.
You've been doing great.
So, but yeah, I just, I wanted to just congratulate, obviously MW1 today. And also, I haven't had a chance to congratulate MW2 for also setting us up and beating TI Bravo the other week. I mean, keep in mind, they've only had 3 external losses since the beginning of territory wars. Okay. And MW2 gave them one the other week. We gave them another one today. So that's, they don't lose much. And so we've really done well. I know today MW2 had that loss to Bosconda. Keep in mind, Bosconda through the last territory war cycle is one of the hottest guilds as far as territory wars. They actually combined with Wakanda, who just wasn't really into territory wars, but they have really great mods. So they really do have some of the best mods in the game. So just even it ended up being a coin flip in my opinion. I mean, it was just a couple of calls here and there, or just a couple of tweaks here and there, and I mean it could have gone either way. So but we're looking into, we've already started to look into addressing things we can do to improve. MW2 also now has squads. We really want to start working on using the squads more. It's the main purpose for squads is just to give us some structure, give us a place for accountability. We can have a place where we can discuss our battles. We always encourage people to record each battle in territory wars, and that way we can break it down in these squads and we can talk about it. And sometimes it's just a mod or two that need to be changed. Sometimes it's just one move during the battle that will make a world of difference between a win or a loss. And so that's the goal of squads. That's every top guild that uses squads, that's what they do. That's what they're for. And it's to find out what happened and improve, because that's what we want to do. We all want to improve. We all want to help each other, and it's a nice small group to kind of figure those things out. So let's really try to kind of progress with that if we want to stay on top. But other than that, I mean, really, I'm looking at the numbers for MW2 against Bosconda. I mean, it looked bleak at about 1 or 2 in the morning when I was on, and I was, we didn't know what we were going to do about Night Sisters, and it was just, and then all of a sudden the guys, the MW2 members, I mean, you guys really came through and really closed the gap pretty well. I mean, just looking at these numbers right now. So, and I've noticed that even in all the in the other losses that they had, even early on, MW2 would always put up a really good battle no matter what. I mean, it might look not very well at first, but they come through. So that's really promising. So I really think we're not too far as of of winning even more consistently in MW2. And the good thing is that, you know, as far as recruiting goes, you know, we're starting to pick up a little bit. That's what happens with wins. But anyway, just feel free to contact us. You know, feel free to PM officers if you have any questions or any other concerns. You know, we brought in Mole Kelly as a kind of a grievance officer, communications type officer. He's kind of the one that one of the main ones you can go to just to say, hey, listen, this is, you know, my concern or this and that, and then we'll present it to the officers. And we really do want to open up that line of communication as much as possible. But again, congratulations to everybody over the last few weeks and just the run that we've had. So really good job. And we are improving. We're continuing to improve and keep improving, help each other to improve. But that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Oblivion. So yes, as for recruiting,
I think, is Moby here?
yes, he is. Maybe. Moby? Maybe Moby.
I meant to send it over to him, but he might. I don't know if he's available right now. But anyway, okay. I mean, if he's,
He'll get his chance.
Okay.
Okay, so you opened the door on the recruiting. We have that scheduled also. So I guess I'm just going to address it shortly, that obviously getting wins versus the top guild, well, the now former top guild, TI Blue, gets us some really positive attention, and it's really what makes recruiting easier. So we already have a lot of people knocking on the door following the wins we've been getting the past couple of weeks. Obviously, we're not just going to take anyone in. And no boomer, we're not going to go casual now. We're going to keep building going forward. We're going to keep preparing. As most of you probably know, we have a new thing coming. TWs are going to be transitioning to 3 versus 3. At least that's the rumor. So that's going to take a whole new set of preparation, planning, theory, crafting, everything. So we're not going to just sit back and enjoy this win. We're going to keep building for going forward. We will keep evaluating performances in both guilds to see if everyone's participating and performing as we expect from everyone. We're still expecting both MW1 and MW2 to be top guilds, meaning both should be very competitive in the top 5. We will continue to do shuffling when it makes sense, when we feel we're able to accurately predict what opposition we will be getting for the next TW. But obviously, I think someone said it earlier in chat that one thing is reaching the top, another thing is staying there. That is a whole nother achievement. It really requires everyone to keep focused, staying hungry, and keep working on the things you've been doing until this point. You got to keep doing that. Never lose sight of what it requires to stay top. Keep putting in the performances, the participation required. Obviously, in order to do that, we will probably rotate some people every now and then as they are unable to play as much as required. And recruiting is obviously one way of doing that. So I think we are probably getting to the point where we may even have a waiting list. So that means we're not just going to replace you. If you do your job, if you put in the performances that are expected. Get your 600 and do your SMs, stuff like that. Obviously, we will not be replacing you for any reason or anyone. We want to build the team spirit. We want to keep the team together. We want everyone here to be a part of that journey for us to stay on top of the game. But obviously, if you're not able to play or whatever, we will be looking at the recruits we have lining up for us. So, Kilo, you here?
Yes.
So, do you have any thoughts on recruiting currently?
I think you pretty much covered everything. As long as people do their job and show that they want to play with us, there's no need in replacing people. Like if you don't have 0 banners or 20 banners every TW, you don't have to worry about being replaced. I think that's the core message of what you said. Hermitioda? Yeah, that's pretty much it from my side.
Okay, thanks, Kilo. Okay, so I have one thing regarding the TW's quite specific thing that I just wanted to address for everyone. I think we had a little issue today, an issue we've had before, but not in a while, regarding well, for the MW2 members here, I'll just explain the situation. We were pretty close to tied with TI Blue today, going into the final hour of the TW. We both needed to clear some extra zones. We played a little bit risky probably in MW1, deciding to go for clearing both their back zones at once, where we probably could have played a little bit safer by just going for one of them. We went for both of them and we got them, but it required that we called a Zerg, which worked really well. The thing is, it's been a while since we've been on full Zerg, battling against time in order to clear the final few teams. And one of the things that I noticed was we have some issues regarding how we Zerg, why we Zerg, maybe even what Zerg means for someone. Zerg basically means that we're going to throw everything at the enemy remaining teams in order to clear them as fast as possible. At that point, no one owns the teams. Anyone can go in. However, once you're in a battle versus a specific team, that also means it's locked for everyone else. So you should consider what teams you're actually throwing in there. They should be teams that are able to at least do something. And if they're not, then probably just try not to spam the button too hard to get in next. Let other people who may have teams get a shot at it first. Another thing is, when you Zerg, the most important thing is that you play really fast. We don't want to lock up the remaining teams longer than we have to. We need to kill them quick, take out a tomb, and then get on to the next team we need to throw at it. So whatever you do, just log every battle, play fast, don't force quit or anything. I'm sure you all know that force quitting means that the team you were battling will be locked for the next 5 minutes. So I think we had a situation today where we at least had one team, 1 out of 2 remaining teams, that with 10 minutes to go, it was locked for at least 5 minutes. And we actually had a couple of Treya counters standing by, ready to go in and clear it. So in the future, when we call Zerg, be disciplined, be smart, play fast, and don't lock up any enemy teams that others may have a counter for. Also, during Zerg, make sure you check in on Discord. Today, we actually did call off the Zerg in order for us to allow the people who had valid counters standing by to go in. So be smart, check Discord, and if it gets called off, just back out, don't battle anymore. If you're in there with a shit team, just forfeit, let whoever has a team left go in and save the day for us. Anything you want to add to that, Cap?
No, that was really good. I think check. We were even trying to type in game too to people, so I don't know if you have those settings turned off, but make sure that your guild chat in game is available. And like Molly said, check Discord because we're zerging usually because people who have the counters we wanted to use aren't on, but there's a great chance that they do log on 10 minutes later, which happened today. So just be mindful of that. It's not a mindless zerg. We're not zombies. We're just racing the clock as smart and fast as possible. And one more thing that I forgot earlier, a special shout out to Barator and Sasha. They came up with the Bounty Hunter cleanup team for Darth Revan. Without that, the victory would have been much more in doubt. Not sure exactly how well we would have cleared the map. So special thanks to them. I know they test for hours and hours. So that was absolutely crucial to making our war a success.
I'll second that. That was an absolutely excellent cleanup team. So shout out to you guys. Really well thought out and found. Great work, guys. So, Cab, I'm going to keep bothering you a little bit because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we may be looking into having to do territory wars in a 3 versus 3 format. Do you have any thoughts for that?
Yeah, I do. So there's a lot of teams that are possible in 3-on-3. It's a lot more. There's a lot more variables, and there's a lot more compositions that can work. Leaders that people don't even have Omega'd might be secret unbeatable teams. So I think what I would like to do for 3-on-3, as Mr. Burns can attest, I am not a pro at 3-on-3. I'm going to crowdsource a lot of teams. There's some people here that are in arena shards and can actually test 3-on-3. Personally, Darth Becker and I, if we put in a 3-person team, our idiots would knock us back to 30. So we really can't test anything. We're like live testing in GA. So I think we're really going to lean on our friendly arena shards to test 3-on-3 counters, defensive teams, cleanup teams. That's where the origin actually of this Bosk team came from, was Barater testing in 3-on-3. He found success with it there, and we kind of forced it to fit once it became 5-on-4. So it's going to be a little less secluded in my mind than the 5-on-5. We're really going to need suggestions. You're not annoying us if you show us a team that got 12 holds or you have a good counter. Don't assume that we know a 3-on-3 counter just because we plan 5-on-5 wars. It's a totally different ball game. I will tell anyone who asks that I am not good at 3-on-3. So please share with us your good teams. Strategies, things that, if we put this in front, it really kills the counter for this team that I like to put in the back. Stuff like that. We really need to hear it. Hopefully CG is listening to us in beta chat, and 3-on-3 is not a constant. And if they do it, we have tons of notice. The other thing we asked is for them to stop switching up the format, like especially in the same week where you're going bonus to vanilla and hopefully not bonus to 3-on-3, so we don't have to remod entire rosters in a 24-hour time span every week. So we'll see if they listen to that. But for right now, there is one on the schedule for Memorial Day weekend. We know that. We can plan for it now with 2 weeks in advance. So let's make it a group effort for 3-on-3. And like I said, send us your ideas, counters, teams, defensive strategies, all of that. Love to hear it.
Thanks, Cap. Yeah, obviously, we don't know when it's coming, but I'm guessing it will be coming, and probably sooner than later. So, yeah, as Cap said, any help will be useful. Changing the format really requires us to reinvent everything we're doing from a strategy perspective and theory crafting perspective. And the game really isn't designed for 3 versus 3. So, yeah, any help you can give us will be really, really valuable. Okay. Any other officers, TW officers, who have anything to add regarding TW's preparation or anything like that? Moby, you around? I guess not. Okay, so before
I'm here.
Okay, so Moby, what's your perspective on it? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of 3v3. I've been having a lot of success in GA with it, so I've got a lot of ideas floating around. It's just with comps and stuff on defense. So I'm actually Raw Dog and I were talking about it a little bit. He's really interested in coming up with some comps, so we're gonna be working on that a lot. I don't have anybody to test with on Arena, but I've got a lot of data from just GAs, so I think we'll be able to come up with some good stuff.
All right, thanks. So before we jump to the open Q&A, I'm just gonna say hello to Mandy. Mandy, are you here?
No.
Mandy, I'm just gonna have a little chat with you because this is your job.
No.
Yes. I mean, there's a history here in the guild of anyone being the MC kind of falls into some kind of accident, early retirement, or losing their mind. Obviously, neither applies to you.
I think some of the Wallet Warrior guys might disagree with that.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yes,
sounded like lies.
Well, anyway, Mandy, I know you've been busy with work for quite some time. How's all that going?
I have at least another month on the wire.
Okay. Well,
and based on the last 4 days, we'll probably have another month after that.
well,
Yeah. But I'm going to try to work on a fleet counter that Kilo came up with, because there's actually one guy in my shard that I can practice against.
well, at least you make yourself useful a little bit sometimes. But I just wanted to say hi to you, and I wanted everyone to hear your beautiful voice.
Well, you guys didn't fucking invite anybody else to that dinner in LA. Shit. And you refused to come to New York City, so.
Well, I do apologize for that. Obviously, you would have been more than welcome to fly out. But of course, you being busy with the wire, not having much time for anything, I didn't really think it would be necessary to invite you. Okay. So, with that out of the way, I think we're going to go ahead and jump to the Q&A. So that means we're going to have an open mic. Anyone who would like to ask a question, comment on anything, feel free to unmute, grab the mic, and ask away.
Now, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Now that we've beaten Bravo twice, really, can I get those naked mirror selfies that you promised me so long ago?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you guys can get a room.
Yeah, I would very much enjoy that.
Okay. Any serious questions?
I do want to make a comment about modding. It was nice to hear some of the TI Bravo guys. I mean, during the battle, they would scope our mods, and they would, like they were fighting our Night Sisters, and they were like, "Wow, look at these mods, that they're putting up. The speeds. I mean, just the normal counters weren't working as well, and you saw them drop a lot of battles that they normally would not. They're used to just steamrolling, and we can now match them mod per mod. So, that was really key, and we really do appreciate everybody that modded in such a short notice, because you remember this was a shortened week, or they started the other territory war later, so we barely had time to throw some mods up, and y'all did a really good job doing the best you could with the mods, and it's always that they're looking.
You're lagging out, bud.
Yeah, I think we lost you there, Oblivion. Boomer, you want to add something there, buddy?
No, not much. Everybody did a great job this weekend. I know we had some limited availability, but we pulled it through. It was a little grind there in the beginning, but we picked it up there at the end. So just keep going strong, and we're doing a great job. Don't forget to gear your separatists, because that TB is coming this month.
So, Boomer, do we have a TB coming this week?
We have a TB starting tomorrow. So
okay,
more get for our Maliks.
TB sucks.
And, is there something about some kind of special mission there that everyone needs to do?
Yeah, do your special mission. Don't miss it. You
and
have one thing to do until P5. Special mission. That's it. And deploy. It's not that hard.
And if you
don't
need
make us come,
any help,
don't make us come hunt you down.
Ask us.
Get the special mission. That's all you got to do. It's not rocket science. Don't make me come find you.
Thank you, Boomer. I think the message got across.
All right. Don't mess with the get.
Anna, did you want to comment?
I was just saying, if anybody needs any help with the special missions, if you don't think you can auto it even, just send us a message. Whoa. And we'll help you out.
We'll find somebody who can.
I need help with something else, Anna.
That's the other special mission.
I think that's just SM.
Oh. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Okay. Gugek, you're here. Obviously, you missed a little bit of it. We covered quite a bit of the territory war stuff, preparation going forward, a little bit about recruiting. But I'm just going to hand the mic over to you in case there's anything you would like to chip in with here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I guess you guys covered preparation. My review of the TW was it was obvious that Bosconda used, they just completely changed their strategy and that got us off guard. We didn't have the staffing that we probably should have brought for this match. Again, holiday weekend, but can't use that as an excuse. We got caught by surprise and we didn't adjust as quickly as I should have recognized as the situation changed, and I'll take full credit for and blame for all of that.
Yeah, no blame needed. Everything's a team effort. I think we've all been caught off guard by a guild switching the strategy completely. I mean, we were, well, what used to be MC probably the ones starting that whole thing with the offense first strategies. And we've had guilds do that to us later on as well. So it's difficult always predicting exactly what strategy you will be facing. Obviously, most guilds deploy a heavy defense and try to clear with cheaper counters. It obviously has some risk of backfiring if the other guild goes full offense and still deploy something you have a little bit of trouble clearing or just throwing away a few banners. So it is what it is. We obviously try to prepare every time for each and every guild as much as we can, but sometimes you just get surprised. I think all the TW leads know that it's one of the things that we really try to look for when we open the map. It is kind of getting as much intel as possible, especially from the front zones, not only what we're seeing on the enemy side, but also how they're clearing what we front loaded for defenses, in order for us to, as accurately as possible, try and predict what did they save, what are they using in order to kind of predict what they're going to have later on defense. If they, contrary to what we may believe, go full offense, it's vital that we're able to predict it as fast as possible in order for us to be able to release stronger counters early, so we don't log a full zone of 15s when we really need to get 20s and not hold on to a stronger counter until later where there's no real use for it. Obviously, that's really difficult and not always possible. So, it is what it is. No blame needed. We try our best, and that's pretty much all we can do.
I will add, I was really, really happy with our performance against the Podmaze. We took down 49 of them. We did 47 of them on first shots using the plant counter that we had. I was really, really, really happy with that. I will talk about the since this is first town hall since for this cycle, the previous match, we used the DR counter, which was JKR with Hermit Yoda, and using the tactic of trying to direct focus on and mark Darth Revan. We didn't have very much success the first match when we went up against when we used it during the bonus, but when we were up against Starforged Jedha, we ran about 60% first shot. I think when we experienced using that in MW1 against Bravo, again, that's a tough counter. So I know it's frustrating. It's not a 100% one, but it really, really, really is the absolute best that we've got available right now. And it gives us a gigantic advantage if we can clear using that counter.
Okay. Gugak, do you have anything on a more level guild perspective you'd like to let us know about?
I don't have anything specific to share right now. We will be adjusting MW rosters as we come around to outside this TB week. Looking ahead, the road ahead promises a new territory battle that we're going to have to think about. We're not sure what constraints are going to be needed to maximize rewards. So again, that's in the back of my mind. Organizationally, MC2 has been really, really, really strong. They have been best in class for their GP size, and that's all been part of the careful planning we've been doing and the careful recruiting and promotion into there. MC3 is in a bit of a spot these days, but somehow Grex has managed to keep it together, and we've been actually managing to win TWs pretty consistently. Our less committed guilds have not been doing well, and it really, really reminds me a lot about how important it is to have careful management and a direct intention to win. The difference between winning and losing in TWs is not much. We recognize that, and when guilds just don't put that in, it's pretty obvious. And you will just keep losing, and that's corrosive. Success breeds success, as I like to think. Overall, right now, structurally, we have one guild, one 210 million guild, which as people come off and are more casual or need a break or need to be doing something else, attending to real life, we're happy to let you just maintain your account there. That's always an option, and folks who do that, we're always willing to bring back up when they're ready. That's probably the state of the guild. I'd like to add more, and I'll probably write an update this week.
All right. Thank you, Gugak. So unless anybody else have any questions, I'm just going to give you a short time to chip in if there's anything you'd like to say. And if that's not the case, then we are gonna end the town hall. I'm gonna say that it will be made available for replay thanks to Anahara, who's been recording it along with her buddy Craig. And I'm sure she'll make it available for you in a little bit, in case you missed some of it, and for the ones who weren't able to make it at all. Other than that, I'm sure everyone's about to get ready to watch episode 5, Game of Thrones. Go John, go John. Yeah, keep it spoiler free. That's all I'm going to say. And other than that, thanks for joining, everyone, and have a good night.
Bye, Molly.